What's up? Welcome to another edition of Mundy's Workbench. This week we're going to talk about goggle preparation. We've been using Smith optics for, I don't know, 9 years, I suppose. We probably have the very first pair of goggles that Garrett ever bought that had roll-offs right here. He's managed not to lose those. Of course, we've had a lot of rain, a lot of mud, so there's different things to prepare for. Um, we typically utilize the roll-off system. Um, that rarely fails, but it does limit your visibility. And there's a lot of good goggle companies out there, even ones that have bigger roll-off systems than what the Smith does. But these have worked well for us, and we're going to continue to use them. Garrett typically prefers tear-offs. The reason being is that you have better visibility. So if you do get mud on your goggles, you can pull the string and then it clears off. Just this strip though is the only thing that's going to get cleared off. Some of your lower portions are going to still have mud on them. You might have to use your gloves or whatever to pull that off. But if you have a tear off system, then you can tear that complete film off and you got a complete clear thing of vision. So this would completely tear off, and then you got complete vision. The downside to tear-offs are you can only put so many on there. If you're running into water or something like that, they could splash up there and then ruin the whole set of tear-offs that you have. But anyway, that's your choice. You figure that out by now, I'm sure. So typically what we do after we get ourselves prepped, we know it's going to be a X amount of lap race. That's how many goggles I prepare. I prepare to give goggles to me, or get my own goggles from my dad, or give Garrett a set of goggles for each lap that I anticipate. So if it's a 5-lap anticipated race, I have 5 sets of goggles. I usually keep them in a bag like this if it's a muddy race, along with my backpack set. And then if I know it's rain and I don't have shelter or tent, I'll put each one of these in a big gallon-sized Ziploc baggie. That way they're all staying dry while I'm getting wet, and that they'll be clean whenever he comes in. You need to set up some kind of system for your pit stop. If he wants goggles, I want him to have them off before he gets to me. Or he'll point at a point on the track that he's needing goggles. Typically he'll take them off, turn them around backwards. That way you don't have them on your arm, so when you go down, you don't lose your goggles, or you're worried about them getting wrapped up in your controls or something. So what you do is you take the goggles off, turn them around backwards right underneath your visor, and then they're going to stay there and they're not going to be in your way during the rest of that lap. A couple of things that we do to prepare for the racing is we use, basically it's like an anti-fog. It's called cat crap, and it's what divers use on their goggles, underwater. So you take that, it's nasty looking stuff, but that really cuts down on the fogging up of the goggles. So I'll take the lenses out and apply that on the inside and then wipe it off, and it'll polish up and look pretty good. You can tell that it's got some kind of film on there, cut down on fogging up. And that's something that we battle a lot, is your goggles fogging up. Even in like a piece of mud, if you've ever got that on there, your goggles are going to fog up where that piece of mud has gotten. Sometimes you have to pull your goggle out just a little bit to get a little air in there, and that will clear up your the fog there. On an open straightaway, that's a time to reach up, pull your goggles out a little bit, maybe get some air moving in there and take out some of that fog. Another thing we do, we learned from couple guys, but Chris Douglas told us about you use a women's basically it's a maxi pad, but it's a real thin one. And he told us all the research that he had done was you go with a Kotex and you want unscented. So what we do is we cut them in half, and a whole pack of these will last you for the whole season. But you just cut them in half, and then you take the little adhesive off the back of it, and then put that right there along the foam on the top. And then once you got that, you can trim it a little better. And then that's just another layer to protect, you know, that sweat from dripping down in your eyes, and also that'll absorb some of that sweat. So that's a pretty handy feature. As we get closer into the hot weather, you're going to want to use that. So after we're all done and we've ruined 4 sets of goggles, part of my thing is too, if he throws off a pair of goggles, I'll try to salvage them. I'll try to wipe them off there, because worst case scenario, he has to use those again. So I'll get those goggles prepared again, wipe them off, even though they're a little dirty during the race. In case I look over and I have no goggles left, I have another set that's usable. Garrett's pretty particular about where he wants his straps, so typically on a roll-off set, he's going to make this strap a lot tighter because of the extra weight of the roll-off system. If it's tear-offs, it won't be as tight, but he likes them tight anyway. So you want to have those set for him before you give them to him, because then he's uncomfortable with the way they're fitting. So when we're done with them, we'll take them all apart, clean them up. You know, I'll try to salvage what's left of the roll-off system, you know, put them on the next set if there's any of it left. And then we'll take this dirty old goggle and put it right in the gear bag or the helmet pad bag that's also a lingerie bag, and run it right through the washer. And then they come out looking just like this, perfect, brand new. I know the Wiskowski brothers, they told me one time they run theirs through the dishwasher, which I know that would work. So these are some of the tips we use for our goggle prep, and some of the strategies that we've used over the years. If you got more tips or comments, please give them to us. We know this isn't the only way to do it. This is just the way we do it. So appreciate you guys. Also, we still have 2 bikes for sale, 2019 450. It's pretty much getting prepped right now for sale, new tires and all that good stuff. And then we have a 2018 250F that we're going to have for sale. $4,200 on the 250F, and we're going down to $6 grand on the 450. We got to get rid of them. So if you know anybody, get rid of them. The 450's been a great bike. I've been thoroughly impressed with it. Haven't done anything to it. The suspension's stock, the exhaust is all stock, everything's stock. I did put an FMF head pipe on it because I smashed the stock one, but it's been terrific. Electric start, never had to charge the battery. The hydraulic brake, or the hydraulic clutch, works flawless. It's been a great bike. But anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in. This weekend we're going to High Fly 2.0. It's going to be a GP race on Sunday. So if you're interested in that, pretty good time. We had a good event last year there, and it's a lot of fun. A little more moto type format, where they're running two motos, and it's a good time. So check that out. It's down at Scottsburg. That's where we'll be at on Sunday. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and show us your tips.